It's like the harder that we try, the more we lose, and the more we lose by. We just look bad.
They say that when we skate, we're supposed to be the Lone Star State, but we're the No Star State.
Can the Rustlers finally climb out of the cellar and prove they have a place in the World Skating League? Or will Mark D'Amato and the Enforcers put their street-wide brand of back alley punishment to work and hang the Rustlers out to dry? Find out next. Are you ready to roller jam? From Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, this is the World Skating League, and this is Roller Jam. Hi, everybody. I'm Rory Marcus. Very happy you joined us tonight as the Texas Rustlers take the spotlight against the New York Enforcers. The Texas Rustlers have to be considered a huge underdog in this game. They might not know it. The New York Enforcers, though, they know it, and they plan to enforce it. And plus, the Enforcers are coming off a loss to the Florida Sundogs. A loss that their team captain, Mark D'Amato, didn't enjoy much. In fact, it had him banging his head against the floor. That's how much he enjoyed it. The Rustlers don't know what they're in for, but they're loose, they're happy, they're just glad to be here. In fact, they all arrived together in a pickup truck a little bit earlier. They pulled in here, they were hooping and hollering. They're looking forward to their matchup with the New York Enforcers, but I don't know. Maybe by the time this game is over, they won't be hooping and hollering too much, because when the Enforcers arrived here at the arena, they were all business. No smiles, no laughing, no high-fiving. They're ready to get out there and skate and play a tough game against these Texas Rustlers. We're ready for the skater introductions. Let's send it down now to Ken Resnick and Lee Hawk Rearman for all the play-by-play.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from the Lone Star State, here come the Texas Rustlers!
No question, the fates have not been kind to these Texas Rustlers. Their first appearance of the WSL Game of the Week, having to face a very nasty New York Enforcers. The go-to man for Texas, Brian Gallagher. They'll be looking to the speed of Sigmund Williams. As we look at Laura Heiser, here's top check.
And now, get ready for the New York Enforcers!
Pocket has to be a scary thought for the Texas Rustlers facing the New York Enforcers. Always in a bad mood, now today in a really bad mood.
Well, not only that, but they're resting, Ken. I don't know what these guys do when they rest. I think they might, like, eat cars or something, but they've been eating plenty of cars because they had a lot of time.
There you see Mark D'Amato, the most diabolical man on skate. You've got to wonder how much the Texas Rustlers will really have to cheer about. It could be a very long day. The Enforcers very, very confident. The Texas Rustlers enthusiastic, but you have to wonder, can they stay with the New York Enforcers as we get ready to line up on the starting line? Remember, we always start at the beginning of every period with a racehorse start. Now starting for the Texas Rustlers, Pam Hutchinson, Talisa Miller, Lori Lavin, Terry Johnson, and Renee Blevins. And for the New York Enforcers, Big Janet Abraham, their two key jammers, Shelley Rossell and Heather Gunnan, Karen Magnuson, and a big blocker as well, April Tootle. And right off the bat, a big surprise. Look who is the lead jammer for the Enforcers. Janet Abraham being pursued very quickly by Pam Hutchinson. Talk about a shot, Hawk. When was the last time we saw Janet Abraham on a jam?
Well, I'll tell you what, if this is any indication of what we're in for, it's going to be a long day. Not for the Enforcers, but for us watching.
And there you see the Rustlers going right down, and now it's Janet Abraham and the speedster Heather Gunnan. Gunnan laying back, laying off the accelerator a little bit, allowing Janet Abraham. Now you see Gunnan trying to give her a big push. Smart move by the Rustler jammers, laying back, knowing there's no way they're going to catch Abraham and Gunnan. And back is April Tootle for the Enforcers to block. Let's see, we've got 20 seconds left. The whip, Janet Abraham sends one Rustler down. two, and Gunnan just follows, taking the lead from Abraham. Abraham against the rule. Gunnan goes by 2 more and cuts off the jam.
And Janet Abraham mothballs the blocker helmet, puts on the jammer helmet, and scores points to start the game for her team. Danny?
Janet Abraham, usually a defensive specialist. Do my eyes deceive me? How many points? 7 points you picked up?
I thought I can do anything I want to do. I like blocking, but I wanted to start this game. I want to show Texas I'm not only big, but I can jam. I can do whatever it takes. We're going to kick their butts today. We're going to slaughter them.
I wonder if this early success is going to see more jamming by Janet Abraham.
And now the Rustlers switch jammers after being shut out on the first jam. 7 big points for the Enforcers. Laura Heiser, they call her Taz. She's got a lot of speed, but perhaps the smartest player. But right off the bat, now you see Shelly Rossell getting the whip out for the Enforcers, being pursued by Laura Heiser, and Heiser goes by her.
Well, and the Enforcers seem to be having a strange strategy today, Ken. I haven't figured it out yet. We saw in the first jam, it was Janet Abraham. Now we see number 31 there, Shelly Rossell. Heather Gunnan obviously played a play in the last time with Janet Abraham, but let's see how this plays out and what these Enforcers are up to.
And right now the big elbow from Shelly Rossell, and once again you've got 2 Enforcers all alone coming up on the pack. The Rustlers having all kinds of problems, trailing 7-0, 15 seconds on the clock, and you can see the Enforcer jammers. Gunnan just licking her chops. She goes down from a double block. Oh, and a bad move there. Trips up her teammate, Shelly Rossell. 5 seconds left. Gunnan trying to catch up to the pack. And a straight move. Karen Magnuson breaking up the double block. Gunnan going through, picking up 2 quick points. Oh, Gunnan, it says the other referee waves off the points. He may have blown the call, but she goes right after Talisa Miller.
And Heather Gunnan's a competitor, and she doesn't like points, and I think that Miller is the first person to be around when she figured out she didn't score, Ken.
Gunnan very unhappy, going a little high at any rate. The Texas Rustlers still trying to get on the scoreboard. We'll be back right after this.
This Saturday, you might have a party to go to. You might even have fun. But you've got no lineup for Saturdays like the AXN Saturday lineup. Amazing shows.
I'll tell you what, it's no big surprise. The New York Enforcers leading the Rustlers 7-0. And Ken Resnick, if the Texas Rustlers don't get their act together, they're in danger of being blown out in this game.
There's no question. Texas in danger of being blown out very early. We're underway again, and now it's a more familiar sight. Janet Abraham, the lead blocker, trying to make sure none of the Rustlers break out, and she does that so well. On the inside, Linda Leeser goes by along with Edie Bowman. Once again, Hawk, the Enforcers with 2 jammers out, and now, finally, one of the Rustlers is trying to catch up. This looks like it's, as they come around the turn, Laura Lavin coming around.
Well, the Enforcers seem like they're not going to put all their weight and all their faith in Heather Gunnan as they have all season. They're letting some of these other guys get out there, and to see Janet Abraham out front with a jammer helmet, as we saw in the first jam, I'd say that's a sight that you don't see very often here in the World Skating League. It might be a fresh new face for the Enforcer women.
And right now, Lavin goes by, coming up, and one of the Rustlers doing a good job of keeping both the Enforcer jammers out, but so far, Lavin having no success getting by Karen Magnuson. One of the Rustlers is down, so the Enforcers again on the board, but Lavin trying to get by Magnuson. One of the sisters is suffering. Lavin went by on the inside, but I think the referees may call her skate, hit the inside. We'll have to wait and see. Now they do credit Texas with a point. They finally erased the goose egg.
Well, and I got to give Karen Johnson some credit there. She put up a fight. You saw her fade at the hands of Linda Leisure. But 3 big points for the Enforcers. I tell you, if these Rustler cheerleaders have inline skates, they might want to put them on, Ken.
Well, it would certainly improve the looks of the Texas team, although I don't know how much it'll help on the scoreboard. Well, the Rustlers finally on the scoreboard, but so far, Hawk, it's been all New York Enforcers. And now, once again, this is the speedster. Heather Gunnan breaks loose, and she just flies around the track. There you see that Pan American gold medal speed turning around. She's being pursued by Talisa Miller, and very interesting, Gunnan kind of waiting, almost baiting Miller to try and catch up. Look, she turns around, calls her up. Gunnan knows she's got far more speed than Talisa Miller. They call her Tink. They're battling it around as they come around the corner. And now Tink gives an elbow in the gun, and she goes into the railing, up and over. Opportunity here for the Rustlers. Talisa Miller out of Cincinnati. Tink goes right by April Tudor, picks up one. Now you see two of the enforcers. Linda Leisure tries to go by. And again, and she goes by right by Shelley Rossell. Great move by Talisa Miller, and then pulls off the jam. Heather Gunn, obviously upset over being sent over the railing for the second time in this game, goes right back after Talisa Miller.
Well, in this frustration, we saw it earlier, Ken, when points were taken away from number 35, Heather Gunn, to the enforcers. And now Tink Miller, number 48 of the Rustlers, scores the point. And Heather Gunn goes right after it. Sean Corbin
get in to break this one up.
And Sean Corbin calls it busting freshies. And here you see a good shot of Tink Miller, sending Heather Gunn over the railing. Then she comes down a little bit later, goes around Leisure, goes around Shelley Rossell. Mixing business with pleasure, finesse with strength. Great job.
And Danny Wolf stands by with Heather Gunn.
Heather Gunn, what were you doing with Talisa Miller there? You guys are up by 6 points, but very arrogant for you.
Not very arrogant. She can't skate. She don't need to be riding against me, period.
And now, once again, Edie Bowman trying to go high for the New York Enforcers. The Texas Rustlers having all kinds of problems. They've been struggling all year. Once again, the Enforcers with two jammers out. Linda Leisure cuts off the jam. I don't quite understand why. In fact, we'll wait for a referee's call. Linda Leisure cut it off. I think Linda Leisure got away with one. The rule says you can't cut it off until 30 seconds have expired. The referees let her get away with it. Gallagher upset. Gunn is out of the penalty box. Linda Leisure now and Edie Bowman jamming for the New York Enforcers, trying to get out for the Rustlers. It's Laura Heiser. They call her the Tash. She had some success early on, but once again, it's been all Enforcers. And now Linda Leisure goes by with the help of Janet Abraham. And here comes Bowman. Hawk once again. Two Enforcers out, no Rustlers.
Well, and you have to wonder, we're not seeing Heather Gunn out again. This is a very different face with the Sisters of Suffering, with Heather Gunn in the penalty box. The first couple jams, she wasn't out there. You have to wonder if the Texas Rustlers, their first time on television, if this is playing in with their heads and if they're intimidated by the cameras and the different face of the Sisters of Suffering and the Enforcer women.
And now here they come, Linda Leisure and Bowman trying to block back is Carrie Johnston for the Rustlers. The elbow into Linda Leisure, but none of her teammates back to help her. Very poor strategy. One of the reasons the Rustlers have been struggling, but a good job right there. And Johnston is able to send Leisure down. Now Karen Magnuson getting into it.
And Carrie Johnston is in a place I don't think she wants to be, but while they're mixing it up, let's check out roller rules.
Hi, I'm Eric Sophie, the White Pony. I'm here by myself today to tell you about a little trick of the track. It's called the skyscraper. It's one of Sean Atkinson's best moves. You remember him, right?
What you gonna do when the act attacks? I was at my Malibu beach house looking back at the skyline of L.A., and I knew I needed a move that towered above everybody else in the WSL.
During the jam, Atkinson jumps out in front of the pack and hops over this rail.
I hide on the platform, and the jammer thinks the coast is clear. Then guess what? That skyscraper dropped on his head like this. You just knew I was going to do it. Oh, damn it!
We'll be back with more right after this.